good afternoon. It is Thursday, the 30th of September. September's almost done. It's almost time. I was going to say it's almost time to wake up Billy from whatchamacallit, Green Day. But I used to think that was a funny joke. I mean, it's still a funny joke, but the song is, I guess, about his dad or whatever, and so I get it. Like I don't take my stuff too seriously a lot of times. But what's this guy doing? Yeah, just speed up there, man. Don't let the people on there. Okay. Anyways, yeah, that's neither here nor there. Like I guess he doesn't take kindly to the September wake me up jokes, whatever. But it is almost over. September's almost over. Another September is come and gone. My birth month. And here we are. But I'll tell you what. So today, what's going on, Nerd Cosa Nostra? So here's today's nerd encouragement for you. Sometimes things are right under your nose. And if you don't pay attention, you'll miss it. You'll miss something really good because you're off looking somewhere else for something. You're always looking for something better, or people. I'm not saying that settling is necessarily a good thing, but we live in a world. It's weird because a lot of people, they're never content. I'm not saying settle. I'm saying there's just a lot of people in our world that are never content. Let me tell you what happened to me today. So I'm trying to get ready for work. I'm trying to get ready to go and everything. And get all the stuff packed in the van. I can't find my keys. Can't find my keys anywhere. I'm looking all over the place. Can't find my keys. They're nowhere to be found. I'm looking through the house. Looking through the kitchen. Looking through the bedroom. Looking through the closet. I'm looking through the toy room. I'm looking everywhere, man. I cannot find my keys anywhere. And I'm really I spent 25 minutes looking for these keys. I came outside at the garage again, looked through the van, did not see them anywhere in the van. Could not find them. I looked in the back here where I was putting my stuff, my computer bag and everything. I couldn't find them. Looked in the front here, looked in the front seat, couldn't find them. Looked in between the seats, looked underneath the seat, looked everywhere, could not find it. All of a sudden I had an epiphany. Maybe, just maybe, look in the ignition. Because you see, last night I came home and I had all the stuff with me. I was at the church last night, so I was in the studio. And I did the video of the Darksaber, right? And so I filmed that all there. And when I got out of the van, I had my computer bag. I had another bag that I take my lunch in. And I had the box and the Darksaber itself. So apparently, I forgot to take the keys out of the ignition last night in the garage. And sure enough, I look up there and guess what? We got keys. And it just started making me think, because I wasted all this time looking all over the place for something that was literally right there in front of me, but it was just on the other side of something, and I couldn't see, what I was looking for. And that's very much like life. People they ruin good marriages because they just act like they can't be happy. There's always something better. It's a shame. It really is a shame. People ruin good friendships because they people who are right there, who are supporting them, who are their friends, who are their friends, and they go off and chase other people who are really not their friends, who are acquaintances at best, who don't really care about them. We do a lot of searching. A lot of people searching for meaning in their life, and they miss the whole point that they have a lot of meaning, and and their worth, and they put all this. We put this value on things that really don't mean anything. What's up, Lewis? Hey, there's a little yellow Stingray Corvette, the Tweety Bird on it. That's a cute little Stingray. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying settle. Always push for bettering yourself. What's up, James? Always push to better yourself. But in the space of trying to better yourself, also learn when to be content and appreciate what you have. Learn to appreciate what you have. I appreciate what I have so much, not in the material sense. I mean, material things or whatever, you can appreciate what you have material-wise, and that's great. Like that guy with that yellow Corvette. I'm sure, he appreciates his yellow Corvette. But who knows? Maybe that guy is like, yeah, I got this Corvette, but this isn't the really the one that I want, right? I think about that with like toy collecting and stuff. Like sometimes we'll be like, yeah, I got this Superman action figure, but it's not really the Superman action figure I want. I really want this other one, right? Same character, and I get it. There are things like that you want to move on and you want to get something else or whatever. But like when we do that with relationships and people in our life, that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I know a lot of good people have gone through a lot of bad relationships, or maybe they weren't even bad relationships. Maybe they went through a divorce. Maybe they went through the loss of a friendship or a loved one or some kind of relationship because they didn't appreciate what they had. And if we're gonna equate that to some kind of nerd thing, The Empire Strikes Back, one of the greatest movies ever made. I love The Empire Strikes Back. But what does Yoda say? Yoda's talking to Luke, and this is the foundation for Luke's character. That's why it blows my mind that people don't get this like later on. Luke, always looking off to the future, always looking off to something else, never focused on where he is, what he's doing. Some of those are traits that follow us our whole life. Unless we change those things, they follow us. And so it blows my mind that like people don't get that about Luke Skywalker, right? We see the cool stuff, right? We see the superficial stuff. Well, yeah, I can go out there, Luke can go out there with a lightsaber, man, and cut everybody down and fight really, really well. And he's good at this, and he's a great pilot and all those things. And that's great. But he needs people. He needs things to keep him grounded. He needs people to talk him back from the ledge, even as an old man. I don't know, man. You ever just talk to people and you just like, how do you miss this? How do you miss something that's there? I don't know. It's just weird to me how people can miss some awesome things that are there. By the way, hi John, hi Lewis, hi Richard, hi James again. What's up, Arkham Gaming? Good to see you. Says, hi Anash, how are you doing? I would love to have you on my channel to talk about DC sometime. With absolutely send me an invite. Let's talk. Yeah, hit me up on social media. That'd be awesome. I always love talking to people about stuff like that. And so I think about that, Like in our real life, those are some nerd aspects. Like, are we always looking off to the future, always unfocused, and thinking about where we're at, and appreciating where we're at, appreciating the moment. Moments go by so fast. Opportunities go by so fast. 1 minute something's happening, and the next minute it's gone. And you got to appreciate the moment that you're in. Appreciate those around you, because otherwise you miss something that's obvious. It's right there in plain sight, kind of like my keys. I ended up finding them. They were right there in the ignition the whole time, but I wasted 25 minutes. 25 minutes of my day was spent this afternoon looking for something that I was literally less than a foot from. And that's on me. That's on me, because I just didn't think to look there. I was looking everywhere else but the place I needed to look. And so I don't know what you're facing today. I don't know what your life is like, what your personal life is like, what your relationships are like right now. But you know what? Know when to be content. Don't always be thinking that you got to one-up everything and replace people in your life, and and things like that. It's weird. It's weird to me, man. Like, some of the greatest people I know are people who, I know people who, they started off their life one way, and then once they attained some kind of success, like they dropped relationships, maybe they dropped a husband, maybe they dropped a wife, in favor of something else or somebody else. And then I know, but some of the most wonderful people I know are people like who attained just great success, and they're still married to that same person. They didn't allow it to change them and take away from who they really are. And if I start to drop off or lose you guys here, don't go away, because I'll come right back in. There's just these little drop spots here coming up. But you know what I'm saying? Like I respect people who respect people. I respect people who respect others, and they don't change like that. We all change. We all should grow, and hopefully for the better. What's up, Blueberry Comics? You know what I mean? Hopefully for the better. What's up, Pelican? Hey, thank you so much, man. I hope you have a great day as well, buddy. But yeah, I appreciating what you have. Not being. I think the world we live in, it conditions us for you always got to replace things and bigger, better. Things are so much more replaceable. It's weird. It's really weird. We live in a world where things are disposable. A lot of things are disposable nowadays. We use plastic utensils, we use paper plates, we use paper napkins. Things that could just be thrown away, and that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. But what it does is it kind of conditions us in a lot of ways that, like, just things are just here for our consumption, and we just throw them away. We don't. That's the thing about like using a real plate or a real fork or something like that. When you're done with it, you have to clean it. You have to care for it. And relationships should not be disposable. People should not be disposable. I often say in the church services I lead, I don't feel that God thinks that there are any disposable people. There's a story in the Bible. Some of you may be familiar with it. Some of you may not be. But if you're not, I'll just kind of give you the gist of it. Jesus is talking about a good shepherd, you know. And I think it's funny that he relates people with sheep a lot of times in the Bible, because being a sheep is not a bad thing. And now sheep can be really stupid, but so can humans, you know. And we're just that way sometimes. And so he relates us that way because we do a lot of the same things that sheep do. Like, you know, we're fine as long as we've got some boundaries and things like that. But man, once there's no boundaries, we just wander off. If there's nothing there to help bring us back, we just go off in crazy directions. And he talks about how a good shepherd, if he has 100 sheep and he loses one, he will go after that one sheep, that one lamb, to bring it back. And why is that important? Because it shows the importance of every sheep, of every lamb that the shepherd has. He knows that the 99 are safe, right? They're where they need to be. They're protected. They have maybe there's other shepherds in the area who are looking after them. But that one sheep has gotten away. That one lamb has wandered off, and there's nobody to protect that sheep. There's nobody to protect that sheep. There's nobody to bring that sheep back in. There's nobody to help lead that sheep. There's nobody to help that sheep. And that sheep doesn't know that it's off, on its own. That sheep doesn't know that it's in danger, that there are wolves out there in the wilderness that are ready to just pounce on them and hurt them and kill them and do all those things. And so the shepherd leaves the 99, not because he doesn't care about the 99, but because he knows that the 99 are okay, that they're protected, that they're all right. And so he goes out and gets that one sheep and brings it back. And I think that that's great for us, that we understand there are no disposable people. None. Doesn't matter, men, women, child. I think Melissa just said, like, disabled or not, there are no disposable people. We're all special. You're special. I'm special. And wouldn't it be great if we treated each other like that more? If we treated each other truly like the special people that we were created to be. Interesting food for thought today. Not just always looking beyond and and looking for something else, but caring about the people around you. Yes, Vince, you're absolutely right. Everyone matters. Yes, Blueberry. It would be great. It would be great. I think we'd live in a different world. We'd live in a different world for sure. What's up, Benson's? What's up, Mark? We're just talking about caring for people and not looking out all around, that there are no disposable people. Getting cracked again? No, I'm not getting cracked right now. I'm down to twice a week now. I was going 3 times a week, so now I'm down to twice a week at the chiropractor. So I will go tomorrow. And then I'll probably end up going like Tuesday and Friday or Tuesday and Thursday going forward. But we'll see. But yeah, so that's just kind of what's on my mind today. Like I said, I couldn't find my keys. Wasted 25 minutes, man, trying to find my keys today. And like I said, in the end, I just realized, because like I said, they were right here in the ignition of my car the whole time. And they were right next to me the entire time. And that's embarrassing. It's not just, frustrating. It's also embarrassing because just a waste. Just a waste of those 25 minutes. I spent 25 minutes of my life today looking for something that was right there. And how many things do we spend? Not just 25 minutes. Maybe you spend years. Maybe you spend, all this time, looking for something better when you have something really great there right in front of you. You have a great relationship. You have somebody who loves you. You have somebody who cares about you. You have somebody who wants the best for you, who just absolutely loves you unconditionally. And you're like, no, I think I want something else. Right? No, I'll go after something else. instead. That's not the person that I want to be with. Hmm, that's interesting. I once told a friend of mine, we had a big group of people that followed my band, and we would all get together on Monday nights. We actually did this big Bible study when I was about 19, 20 years old. And, and, but like everybody would complain because they didn't have, um, nobody had a boyfriend or girlfriend. And it was funny because if you ask people in the group about others in the group, it's like, no, I'm not dating them, I'm not dating them. And there was nothing wrong with the people in the group. But it was just always funny to me because people would talk about like the things, the traits or the characteristics that they were looking for somebody for in somebody. And there were many people in the group who had those characteristics and traits. But people in the group were always looking outside the group. They were always looking outside something, because like these people were never good enough. The people around them, just weren't good enough. And look, there were some people that, yeah, there's always going to be somebody in your group that's questionable. But but also it was weird because there were so many in that group that were wonderful people. And I said, I told my friend, I said, man, if people don't find somebody or they're not happy with their relationships or, like their lack of relationships, they should really look at what's going on around them, right? And so, yeah, it just was what it was. In fact, I think I just saw this comment here. Uh, Vince says, as a friend said, the grass is green where you water it. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's where you take care of it. It's where you cultivate it. Oh, that's such a great statement, Vince. Yes, the grass is greener where you water it, where you put the time in, right? Where you actually invest some of your life. It's just like I said, like I see sometimes the value in just things that we just take for granted, the mundane. Like I said, just like even the difference between, like I said, disposable items and their permanent counterparts, like a plastic fork versus a real fork, or a plate versus a paper plate. Like I said, we're so trained. Well, we throw these other things away because they're convenient. It's literally out of convenience. And there's nothing wrong with using a paper plate. I'm not saying that, or a plastic fork. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, isn't it interesting though how we can apply that to our lives, that narrative to our life? Because like, why do we use a paper plate or a plastic fork? It's out of the convenience because we don't want to take the time to have to wash a plate or wash a thing. I mean, just even at our home, man, like we use paper plates a lot because we ain't busting out a bunch of stuff because look, somebody's got to do those dishes, right? And there's 5 of us, man, and if everybody just used stuff like that all the time, look, the kids don't always want to do the dishes, and mom and dad don't always have time to do the dishes. And so so you do things out of convenience and not a necessity. But I think we do that sometimes in our life, is that we toss stuff. We look at things as temporary instead of permanent because we don't want to invest the time that we have to do to cultivate, to make things good. Like you said, whether it be like the lawn, people who have nice lawns because they put their time in, man. They know what kind of grass they have. If you ask me what kind of grass I have in my yard, I could not tell you. Couldn't tell you. I don't know if it's Kentucky bluegrass. I don't know if it's whatever kind of sod it is. I have no idea, right? But there's people, man, they know that stuff, and their lawns look immaculate, right? That's what they spend their time doing. That's what they spend their time doing is cultivating that. And you know, and it's the same thing with our relationships. It is important that we know what we have in our relationships and who we have in our relationships, and don't look past somebody who could be really, really great. A lot of people get friend zoned too, and I think we've all been friend zoned at some point, and it sucks, man. It sucks when you're friend zoned. Now I look back, at people that friend zoned me over the years, and I'm so glad they did now. There's people who thought that they were like, better than to date me, or they just didn't want to date me because I didn't fit the mold of what they were looking for. I wasn't this cool macho guy, or and I use macho. I mean, that's such a silly term, macho. But you know what I mean? Like I wasn't this, sexy, hard bod, I grew up in the '90s, man. Like a lot of the girls that I knew, man, they were looking for some guy, like the detailed facial hair and just the sexiness about and look, I'm darn sexy. I am darn sexy. But I wasn't what they were looking for. And it's funny because now I look back and oh my gosh, did I dodge some bullets, man? I'm talking Matrix style, just whoa, whoa, and I'm so glad that they passed on me. I'm so glad that they passed on me. You have anybody like that in your life that you're just like they passed on you, they put you in a friend zone, they did whatever, they acted whatever to you, and like you just look back and go, oh, woo, right? I do, Benson's, I do, Mark. I got the cushion for the pushing, man. I it, I think that there are people who are just lazy. They're just lazy lovers. Lazy lovers. I am not a lazy lover. No, thank you, Pelican. I try to be a sexy beast of a man. Uh, but no, I just think about that, and it's funny because um, I've had some of them come back around, after years and years or whatever. Maybe when we were teenagers, early 20s, they tried to friend zone me, and like, oh, like I remember one girl. I really liked her, and we were hanging out like all the time, and we were talking, just hanging out, and there really seemed to be a really good chemistry. And I had probably like three or four like right in a row, man. That it was like like I had these great relationships with these girls, and we would do all this stuff together. We would go places together. I mean, like it even felt like we were going on dates because we were going places, we were doing things together, spending time together. One girl even kissed me once, and then it was like, oh, but no, you're my friend, and I don't want to ruin our friendship. I'd rather have you as my friend, and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, all right. And at the time, that like that hurt, right? And it was like whatever. And now, man, like she came back around like a while after that, and it was like, no, I'm good, I'm good, moved on, moved on. And it's funny because there's some people that they don't get over themselves. Like once they thought that you liked them, like that was like a permanent thing, right? That like once you liked them, like you would forever have those feelings for them. I had to tell one girl straight up because I had some feelings for her. I thought she was really nice. We were hanging out all the time, and I said to her, I told her my feelings and I asked her out, and sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I'm in this weird area right here, but it was so weird because every time then we had a disagreement in our group after that, right? And I should say this: I had feelings for her. She did not reciprocate those feelings. I moved on. I moved on. I literally liked somebody else, right? And had moved on, and we were done, and like I didn't even have those feelings anymore for her. I was just fine. And it was funny because we got in a disagreement once, and she goes, "Well, you're just mad because I won't date you." And I went, No, that ship has sailed. I don't want to date you." Oh, sure you don't. I'm like, no, 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 really, I don't want to date you. I've moved on. Like people like have it in their mind that like they can't fathom that you would move on if they don't reciprocate, right? That like you're just gonna be pining for them forever, like lost in this little loop of lost love, and it's just in you or me or whatever, and look, I think it's good to share your feelings. I think it's good. I think it's good to be honest. If you don't, if you don't have feelings for somebody, you be honest, right? And yeah, YouTube doesn't like me talking about this lady. That's funny. Uh, but you just be honest, right? So there's nothing wrong with being honest if you don't have feelings, but also don't lead that person on. And that's where I think the problem stems in that kind of thing, right? Is that a lot of times people who act like that, it's not that they're just being honest and telling you that they don't have feelings for you, but they lead you on, right? They make it out, they make it feel like they have these feelings for you, and then when they say they don't, it's basically because they like you being around. They like using your energy. They like using your positivity or whatever, and they like the way that you make them feel. But in the end, they don't want to put themselves out there. They're leeches, is what they are. They're leeching off of your energy. They like the way that you make them feel, and that's the only reason they're there, is to get whatever it is that you're giving them. So that kind of stuff you got to cut off. But just for your own mental well-being. But anyways, so that's just, like I said, knowing when to be content, also knowing when to press on and move on to something better. And I'll tell you what, as far as relationships go, I'm very, very blessed. Tiffany, I had known Tiffany for years and years and years. We'd both been in different relationships, and we had things happen to both of us, and we found ourselves in a different kind of position. But thank you, Vince. Yeah, I got to run too. But appreciate you being here for sure. But yeah, but Tiffany and I, when we came together, it was something very, very special, and I'm very, very thankful for that woman, because Tiffany is just amazing, just amazing in every way, and I couldn't be happier than I am with Tiff, and I think that we gotta, like I said, we gotta cultivate the relationships that we have around us. So get out there, start tending some gardens. All right, start watering, start planting, start fertilizing, start doing what you got to do, to make the best of not just romantic relationships, but also platonic friendships. You know, uh, letting people in your life know that you care about them, and that's what I hope that you get a little bit of when you come to the Poindexter Lounge. That you know that you're cared about. Like, even if we've never met in person, I see your screen names, I see your comments and things, and I've talked to some of you, live, or via chat or whatever, and it makes me happy to see you guys show up. And so I hope that you guys get a little bit of that when you come to the lounge, that you know that you're appreciated. All right. So thank you so much, Lewis. Appreciate that, man. All right. So, guys, I hope that you have a great day. Make the most of this day. Do your best to. Hey, I hope to meet all of you guys. Yes, absolutely, Richard. Absolutely, Richard. For sure. But yeah, make the most of your day, and let everybody in your life know how special they are to you. All right. All right, guys. Until next time, stay nerdy, and I'm going to keep on with my silly little streams. Yes, please hit that like button. I had a guy on Facebook in that Superman group. Big surprise, huh? We were just having a basic conversation about Tyler Hoechlin's Superman suit. This guy doesn't think that it's over padded still, and that's whatever. I told him, I said, dude, you can think whatever you want to think, man. I said, it's over padded. It's over padded. When he physically looks different when he has the suit on than he does in his regular clothes, and he's supposed to have those clothes on underneath his regular clothes. Yeah, it's kind of over padded. And it was funny because, like, I tried to end the conversation just on a positive note many, many times, and he was basically just telling me that, basically I was stupid. I didn't know what I was talking about. That they had reduced the padding as the season went on. I'm like, well, yeah, they may have reduced it a little bit. I'm like, but it was still over padded. It still didn't need that much padding to it. And it's funny because I told him, I said, look, man, I said, because he wasn't giving me any facts. He's just like, well, this is the way I feel, so this is the truth, right? Thank you, James. And that was kind of the point of me telling you this story. It was not to get you guys necessarily on my side with this dude. Although, hey, I'll take the support. But it was funny because he he apparently looked up the channel because I had made a comment to him. I said, look, man, I said, this is what I do. I said, I talk to people all the time. I said, and a lot of the people that I've talked to have all said, look, they even like Tyler. They like Tyler Hoechlin. They've enjoyed the new Superman show, but the suit doesn't necessarily look bad. It's just over padded. It bunches up in, around the arms, and it hangs because of the padding being here and there. And I said, I'm sorry that you don't see that, but I said, a lot of people do. And guy came back with, he's like, yeah, something about, my silly little stream. And, maybe people are just telling me what I want to hear on my silly stream. And, that I probably just surround myself with a bunch of people, who think like me. And look, I know that, the YouTube and the internet is filled with that, right? Is that, it's filled with people who just surround themselves with people who think the exact same thing that they do. But you know what I love about our channel? I love the fact that the Poindexter Lounge, it's literally people who think differently about so many different things. And that's okay. And we encourage that and we support that. And we don't get into fights about that. Like we'll get into disagreements, and we'll get into debates and stuff. But at the end of the day, we shake hands, give each other a hug, fist bump, and we go home. And then we come back the next night. That's what's truly great about the lounge, and what's great about you guys is that I don't try to tell you what you have to think. I hope that you don't think that I do, and I hope that when I have an opinion, you don't have to have the same opinion that I have. I welcome differing opinions and those kind of things. So yeah. So thank you guys for the love. I see you guys with comments. Lewis says, we love you. Enosh Pelican says, Enosh, this community loves you, bud. We all look up to you and proud to say, oh, you're very, very sweet. You get what you give, Enosh. Richard says, you support the geek culture and we support you. You're so kind. Aaron says, thank you, Enosh, for the nerd encouragement. Absolutely. We appreciate you as well, Enosh. Thank you so much for these videos. James says, absolutely. And as far as my favorite pizza, I mean, you can't go wrong with just a pepperoni pizza, right? But I'll be honest with you. You know what I've discovered in the last few years? And I don't like all these things separately, but for some reason I like them all together. A nice supreme pizza, right? I don't like onions like that, just to eat onions. But for some reason on a supreme pizza, it's fine. I love that, the sausage and the pepperoni and all that stuff. So, Lewis. Lewis says, you're a dad figure to me, even though my dad didn't even want me. I'm sorry to hear, Lewis, that you went through that type of experience. That hurts, and I know that pain. You're not alone, man. We're not alone. We're all in this together. All right. I love you guys. I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna get some work done. I gotta find a drummer for this weekend. I'm a little frustrated because I don't have a drummer. So I gotta figure out what I'm doing. But I'm gonna go make some coffee, go do my thing. I got a little snack for later. Yep. I'm gonna snap to a Slim Jim later. Oh yeah, I got my Slim Jim right there. I got my protein bar. So I got some protein there to look forward to. And yeah, we're gonna do our thing. All right, we're gonna keep it going. You guys all take care of each other. Be good to each other. Absolutely. I'm glad that you guys love the Nerd Encouragement streams. You know what I dig is like people that I wouldn't even think are enjoying the Nerd Encouragement streams are enjoying the Nerd Encouragement streams. So that means a lot. Like Truth 31 popped in the other day and he goes, "Hey, thank you for these streams." I think that's really cool. I think that's really, really cool. So thank you guys for the encouragement that you supply to me and making me feel that what I do here on the internet is worth the time and worth the effort. Appreciate you guys. All right, guys, have a great day, and we will talk a little bit later. I'm going to see Venom tonight, hopefully, hopefully. So we may have a little bit of a non-spoiler report, maybe. All right, guys, love you guys. Have a great day.